Hello, this is KUAW. Hello, Kansas City listeners and those KUAW audience. I'm Professor Smooth Jazz, and my show, you can hear it every Thursday, 5 p.m. to 6 p.m., 9 p.m. to 10 p.m., and then Friday early, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. We're here. Mr. Walker, thank you for taking the time to help us out with this interview with Rick Habana. Rick, hello, Rick. Keyboardist, producer,
Hey
songwriter,
guys,
engineer, and composer. How are you doing?
doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Okay, so you where the weather's warm, huh?
It is. It actually, not most of the year, but right now it is. Seattle,
Okay.
Washington, but yeah, we have coming up on those beautiful months right now. So yeah,
Mhm.
got a lot of nice sun right now. So loving it.
Actually, it was kind of cool here, and I don't know. All of a sudden, it feels like summer now. And I was looking forward to the
Yeah.
spring because we got winters up here.
Right. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
kind of tell us about your musical journey. I mean, where did you
Sure.
start? Did you start with playing keyboards, or how did you get interested
Yeah.
in it?
Yeah. Um, yeah. How far do you want to go back? As when I was a kid, or maybe when I really
Oh
started getting
yeah. So when did
more
you start? So when
serious?
did you start?
All right,
So
we'll
you
go way
started at an
back.
early age, huh?
Yeah, yeah. I started about 7 years old.
Hmm.
So my father, when I was younger, had a lot of. He's a musician, so he always had a lot of equipment in the house. He'd
Hmm.
have musicians over all the time, and he had drum machines, rhythm machines, amplifiers, all instruments. So I would always gravitate to that. So when musicians would come over, he'd help set up the equipment. And, once they got their jam session out of the way, he let me mess around on the equipment. And at 7 years old, I think probably when I got to 10 years old, I was already recording my own little demos on tape. So I found a way to start recording, and my whole goal was to, rhythm machines was my thing, and they also bought me a small keyboard that I had, and I found a way to actually start layering my music and then getting it to tape. And for me, it was like I was trying to, at that young age, trying to create I don't know, like a demo or just having fun. But right there, I was learning how equipment works, how to mix, how to just create sound, and of course, nothing sounded really good, but as years progressed, I never let it go, and better
Hmm.
equipment, and once I got into high school, I started actually recording artists, and when I graduated from high school, did a little courses at college for music, and then just started getting into building my studio. Right when I got out of high school, I was spending lots of times in studios in LA and just bouncing around and doing all kinds of music, working from jazz to hip hop to R&B, just working anything. Anytime somebody invited me to the studio, I was there because I love to learn, and eventually just started growing my own little studio. And I started doing what really kind of got me into doing it, trying to do it for a living was doing music licensing. So pretty basic, just doing instrumentals, whether they're jazz, pop, basically any genre, right? And I'm starting to connect with a lot of music licensing companies around the world, and basically just for doing music for background for television. And just by doing that, it really got me really producing, really mixing, and just being very busy because I was knocking out tracks. But the whole time, a lot of these licensing companies, they had artists as well that were doing it that were musicians. And a lot of them I got to network with because they were either a horn player, a guitar player, and they were kind of involved in the same thing. And so I've had, being from Southern California, smooth jazz is it's huge, and so my dad was into Latin jazz. My mom was really into the 70s. So I kind of had a good blend of music in my household. And,
Hmm.
after a while, I always had a passion I found smooth jazz myself. And then as
Hmm.
I got older, and working with different musicians, I started bringing that sound together and started really focusing on creating my own original sound. And within the years, meeting so many musicians and, just it came to a point where I was, a couple of my musicians were like, you should do this is a little bit better than just background music. You should definitely push to try to create a record, and then I started thinking, I was like, well, I would love to do it with all these individuals that I'm meeting. And so long story short, I started working with all these musicians on this project, and that's why I call it the collective, because it's not just me. It's even though I produced and mixed it and composed it, that sort of thing, I work with so many musicians from all over the world. And so that's kind of, I took you basically from a young stage all the way to how I got here pretty quickly, I guess.
So this collective new CD, it also, you have music that consists of all different types, but you also have artists from all over the
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All over the world.
yeah.
Yeah. So each song is has a. That's what I kind of want to do as well moving forward is to keep discovering new talent, because one thing that I've really learned with a lot of these musicians from around the world, they actually love smooth jazz. They're actually recognize the key names. One of my sax players, I was just talking about this with him the other day, where he was just saying how he grew up listening to Gerald Albright, and he's from Slovenia, and that's his idol, you see. And so it's like they're in tune, they're really in tune, and it's opened my eyes to how far smooth jazz has really went throughout the world. I have all the way from Slovenia to Argentina to UK, Sweden, Canada. I have musicians from everywhere, and that's what I kind of want to do. Every collective, I want to discover new talented smooth jazz artists from around the world, and try to put them together on a project. And who knows, maybe one of these artists that they keep pursuing their career, maybe one day they can also, come out with their album. And for them, I'm always there to produce them as well. So when they have projects, I'm there for them to produce them. They help me, I help them back, and that's how we've always worked together. So it seems to work really well for everyone.
Yeah. Now that you mentioned it, when I started doing the show, my radio shows, so I always wanted to go find artists places that people didn't think they play jazz. I mean, there's a lot of smooth jazz artists in Japan. Matter of fact, one of this guy Shigeo Tamaru, he always listens to the show, and I think he puts it on his web page. So there are a lot of artists that play smooth jazz, because people say, "Man, in Japan, these artists are from." Yeah, I say, yeah, all over
Japan is big on it. Yeah, I got back from Tokyo this past year, and it's very interesting. So they actually inspired me as well. So I went over there and I heard some of the live music, and I was like, they have a little bit of different twist to it, compared to what we do here. But it's like, I love it. I still like it, and it inspires me too. That every country has their own sound, but they still, still smooth jazz. Yeah.
And actually, if you didn't look at the artist's name and you just listen to their music, you probably would make a lot of mistakes if you were trying to guess who this guy is, or where he's from. And another thing,
that's the beautiful part about it.
Yeah, and I have to look up or go on the internet to figure out how to pronounce some of the names, and even when I get the drops, like people send me the drops to play right before their selections on KUAW.
Sure.
I say, oh, this is great, because I need to see if I'm pronouncing the name correctly.
Yeah. That happened to me quite a few times when I started promoting my first collective album. Some of my artists, it was so hard to get their name correctly, and they're like, "Oh, that's fine, just get close." I was like, "Okay, I'll try my best."
Yeah. So sometimes on the radio, I said, well, I didn't get a chance to look this up, so I'm gonna give you the English version, because some how we pronounce in English. Sometimes if it's Italian and it's a lot different. Like I just had
Oh
to
yeah.
it was I'm trying to remember that it was by Wayne Gutschall and it was Carcavoda, Carcavada, Carcavada. No, I'm trying to remember. I had to look it up and I was pronouncing it right, but it's
Yeah.
C C-O-R C. I think it's Covda or something like that. Corcovada. I think that's it. Corcovada. Yeah. But I
Oh
was
wow,
like,
that's a
man.
tough one. Right, right.
So and some
Yeah,
of the titles too.
my right, yeah, yeah, exactly. The saxophone player that I was just mentioning, that's from Slovenia.
Mm-hmm.
It took me forever to get his name. So his name's David Kochen. Kochen, and I'm probably still not getting it right. But when I hear him say it, I just can't get it like how he says it, you know. But that's the closest I've been able to get to it.
Yeah.
He's like, all right, run with that.
You know what? I think I played him before because I was wondering if I pronounced. I'm gonna look it up on my in my computer. But I'm thinking when you said that name, I said that seemed like
Yeah,
because I was trying to figure out how to pronounce it.
right.
So what are some of these selections on your new CD? I know I've been spinning them.
Uh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. What was the question?
I said, what were some of the selections on your new CD that have been released? I know I've been spinning them though. That I'll be there's
Oh, appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
is the
Hmm.
new release, and that's Will
Right.
Donato.
Yeah, I'll be
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yeah, Will Donato. Yeah, we share the same label, Intervision Records.
Yeah,
So Will is Will was awesome to work with. He's one of the best, right? So working with
yeah.
him, yeah, that song came out really cool. It was so fun to work with him. So he was a big help on that one. Also, Jakeem Joyner, I have
Oh
him
yeah, I
on
know
a song
Jakeem.
called Loungin'.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jakeem's awesome as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, trying to just work with some of the best that I can, and yeah, every collective album that I have, I want to feature two of the top names in jazz and smooth jazz, and this time around we went with Jakeem and Will
Yeah.
Donato. Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Hmm.
And some of the artists that may not be well known, but I mean there are some great. There's so many different artists
Right.
and new music coming. I
Hmm.
don't know if it's because of COVID. You guys might not be on the road, but when I'm doing my list, when I kind of start out, I'm like, okay, let me see if I'm gonna play any selections. Usually on my Saturday show, uh, I play most of the new selections, and then I play them all during the week. So when I start out, and I usually spend about in that 2 hour time, maybe 26, 25. So I might start, I'll have 10. And I said, well, let me see what I might have to fill in. Before it's over with, I'm saying, well, I can't get all this in. I'm going to have to save some of these for next week. Yeah. So
Right.
a lot of new music coming out. And some of these artists I haven't heard of, but I'm listening. I'm like, man, I mean, the talent and is incredible.
Hmm.
And some of them starting real
Yeah, it
young
is.
too.
It is, and it's
Some of them starting real young.
yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and a lot
Exactly.
of the women jazz artists. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
man, some people might look at, oh, she's vocal, man. I mean, they sax, bass. I mean, all the instruments.
Oh yeah, exactly, exactly. Like on my collective, I have one of my sax players. Her name's Donata. She's from Italy. So and she's a music teacher out there. She's young and
Hmm.
she's thinking about pursuing a career in jazz as well. So they come from everywhere now, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So what kind of influences your music? You know, when you're doing writing. I mean, because I'm saying how what all goes into when someone's writing and producing and things
Hmm.
where these ideas come from. Because after you hear the music that you've produced, man, this sounds great. I mean, what was how did they come up with this? And
Sure. Yeah. 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 So for me, it's since I've been doing it such a long time, just producing music since I was young. I kind of go into it. I definitely have to be in the right headspace. So I mean, a lot of times I'll get in the studio and I'll just start working, and just seeing what comes out. And sometimes, it's just like I'm not all there. I'm not feeling it. Something's missing. But then there's other times where I'm itching, like I can't wait to get in there. I don't know what I'm going to come out with, but just that energy, the energy that when I go into, when I start recording and I start finding what chords I want to work in, the energy level's there. So I can stay in the studio for hours and hours on end. And so the way it starts working for me is just a feeling of it. I just need the energy and feel good. In a minute, I start doing that. I start playing the keys. And once I find something that I can kind of, okay, I can work with this, then I start building. I start layering keyboard sounds, drum, either whether it's with my drum machine. I'll start kind of producing everything on my own. And then after, let's say, 4 or 5 hours of work on a track, I'll take a break, then I come back to listen to it maybe the next day and see if I still have that feeling of when I was making it. Because a lot of times what happens is I was so excited about it. And the next day I come in, I'm like, oh, what was I thinking? No, that's not going to work. Let's go from scratch. But then a lot of times whoa, yes, okay, I was on it. And then we start building, and then I'll maybe do a couple other sessions with the song, start mixing it. Then from there, I start getting feedback from some of my musicians, and I like to get their ideas. And if, let's say, if one of my musicians likes what I'm doing, I'll kind of create the top line for them. I was like, this is what I'm hearing on the chorus. And so we kind of create the chorus, the bridge, and then at that point, they start hopping on. And even then, I still might not be sold on a song, but sometimes when they get it and they send me their performance, sometimes it either elevates the song where I'm just that much more excited about it to now start bringing in other musicians and really start dialing in. Or sometimes I'll think, okay, I'm not sure where this is going to go, so let's put it to the side for now and start something else. And so many times, things that I put to the side, I go back later to, and I think, whoa, why didn't we do something with this? And but yeah, to answer your question, it's more all my energy. It's like I know that I love producing so much that I just get in to start working, turn on the equipment, just start getting to work, and then from there, as long as my energy levels, I'm feeling good, feeling in a good positive space. The rest just comes out. Just comes out.
So when is the best time? Is there a certain time when you go to the studio? Because I know when I'm putting my playlist together for the Saturday morning show, I don't care what happens. It always seems that I get the selections. I already got the selections. Sometimes I have them, like I got them all for Thursday, but it seems like that Friday, and then I'm trying to put it together because I'll move them around. And well, no, I don't want to put this here. I want to put this here, and then I don't want to put too many saxes right here. I want to put a sax, maybe a keyboard, maybe this, maybe that, and don't want to put out. If I got vocals, don't want to put out vocals. Kind of mix, put this here, put that there. But it always seems, Nana, it's almost Saturday morning. I'm just finished. Saturday morning I'm finished, and I was like, okay, I got to go to sleep so I can wake up. But I said, you know what? I always try to do this early, but it doesn't always. It seems like Wednesday, that's too early. I can't figure. I might get a new song and say, oh man, I want to put this here. So it always seems like it's not like I'm waiting to the last minute. I already got it set up. I just don't have it, in order like I want it.
Right.
So is there a certain time?
Yeah, exactly.
When it seems like it's easier to get the vibes?
Yeah, I think I try to. Well, I have my own little home setup here, but for the home setup, it's so easy to just get in here. But I have to make sure to. I like to kind of do it later in the day because if I start early, I won't get anything done that has to do with that. Whatever my wife has on my list of things to do, it won't get done. So I tend to get things, whatever we have to get done, any type of projects or anything else that I'm working on. I do those things first, and I try to save my music later in the day. When I'm calm, the day's kind of behind me, I'll start maybe around, it could be any day of the week, but I'll start maybe around 7 o'clock, just right after dinner. They get there and start sitting down, maybe have a drink, relax, and just start getting down on the keyboard. But I would say the evenings are usually the time I like to. I got to be careful though sometimes because there's been nights where I've stayed up and got so excited about a song that I don't go to sleep till 3, 4 in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
it seems like when that's the time you need to be sleeping, but sometimes your mind's relaxed and things come
Oh
easier.
yeah.
So you got a bass
Yeah, and it's
guitar
too
back
hard to
there, right?
stop. It's too hard.
So you play bass.
Yeah,
I see
yeah,
you
I
got a
sure do.
bass.
Yeah,
So you play a lot. You
a
play.
little bit.
Okay. Now when I first saw your CD cover, I was thinking you were
Hmm.
a guitarist because you had the on the
Oh,
beach you
right,
had the
right. So
guitar. It was a it was
this one right here.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And so it
yeah. That's
reminded me
the
of like
reason I had
Nick.
that was
And so
yeah.
it wasn't like the lead guitar; it was a rhythm. And so anyway, I always when I saw that, I was thinking about Nick Coleon.
You're right. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah.
No, the reason I put the guitarist on here is that resembles Paul Brown.
Oh,
So Paul
yeah,
Brown's the
that's
one that
right.
featured on guitar.
Yeah. Now,
Yeah, so Paul Brown, yeah, I got a chance to work with him, which was amazing. And so I did all the production on it. Yeah, I did all the production on it, and with his help, he's one of the producers that I've always looked up to. So he helped me a bit, and so he just jammed on guitar, helped me a little bit with the mix, and he kind of let me take it from there. And then we had a Mary D, who's a great vocalist from Canada. She was on it, and I wrote the song for her. She sung it, but anyways, yeah, that's. So I get that a lot because from this cover to the collective is my whole theme is record players, right? So I'm more of a producer and a keyboardist, and a lot of times I kind of on my graphics I guess one of my big influences too, aside from Paul Brown, was Paul Hardcastle, right? Paul Hardcastle, if you've ever noticed, that's kind of where I got the collective a little bit of that feel from because I have different volumes, and you never see Paul Hardcastle on his covers, right? And so I'm kind of the same way. I kind of like artistic. I like art. And so I kind of put artwork on the covers. And so that what happens though later is that people, well, what does he play?
Oh, yeah. So
Yeah.
I said, well, he must play both of them then, because I said, but it's funny. I met Paul, Paul before, but I had my little nickname for him is Popular Paul because he's
That's
on a lot
name.
of people's CDs.
That's a good.
So and then Jeff Lorber, I could also say, am I on your CD? Because I said, there's no way that he could remember, all those producing, things that he produces and how many musicians selections he's playing keyboards on and producing. So I
my
say,
God, yeah.
Jeff, am I on your CD? Because I said he can't remember.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. You got to meet him. He's one of the best in smooth jazz. He's a legend.
Yeah. So, hey, is there any other thing that you would like to tell us? Was there anything else you'd like to tell us about? Anything coming up? Or how'd you meet Adam?
Adam Leibowitz? Yeah. So, that's actually interesting. So I actually, when I was doing this song with Paul Brown, Smooth It Out, I was going to get ready to go to radio with it. And I started talking to a lot of different radio DJs and just kind of getting to know people. And even though Adam didn't work that song, I actually got to know him. He started giving me a lot of feedback on music. So I met him just because I reached out to him because I knew he was one of the key players in radio promotion. So that's how I actually met him. And then we just started, he liked my sound from the beginning, but he was really helpful in kind of helping me become more organized and learn and start about smooth jazz and the business side of things, right? And how it works behind the scenes. And so, after building such a long relationship with him, he saw my growth. And so after a while, I worked that song with Will Donato, and Will Donato put in a good word. Adam put in a good word with Intervision Records, and that's how I got signed with Intervision Records, yeah.
Oh, okay, great. So I know you're on Spotify and, different music.
Everywhere, yeah.
Yeah. So if somebody wanted to contact you, your web page and site before we go, that information.
Yeah, it's Rick Habana. Yeah, so it's rickhabana.com. So HAB as in boy, ANA. rickhabana.com. My Instagram's Rick Habana. Intervision Records as well. They have all my information up there. At this point right now, not really. I just wanted to chat with you. Nothing, not really trying to plug anything or anything, but my album did just come out. Yeah, it's called The Collective 2. It just came out. And thank you so much for playing my new single with Will Donato. I'll be there. I hope I'm, still early. It's only been out for a couple of weeks, so I'm still can't wait to get more feedback and see what people think about it. But thank you so much for playing it.
And you have I think you have two versions, don't you? In there, instrumental.
I do. One with vocals. Yeah, one with vocals. There's just a couple harmony vocals in the back, but I do have one if any DJ's interested in that. Obviously I could send that copy as well. Yeah.
Well, Adam sent it to me, so I was kind of playing the first one, with the vocal, and then I'm gonna hit him up with this instrumental.
Oh, you got the exclusive one then. You got Ricky. You got the exclusive one. All right. Not too many people got that one.
I'm glad I was pronouncing your name right too, because that was one I was like, oh man, this is what I've been saying, but I'm gonna make sure what. And then you sent me the drop. So as you sent me the drop, I was like, oh, okay, it's cool. I'm cool. And I always remember, I was like, oh, yeah, I know I'm gonna like him because his name is Rick.
There you go, boom.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just like Rick Brown. I was like, Rick Brown, Rick. Okay, your name Rick, y'all. You cool with me?
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Walker, for taking
this
time to help us out.
Thank you, Mr. Walker. Thank you.
Yeah, you're gonna have to meet Mr. Walker here.
Can't wait. I would love to go. Are you, Mr. Walker, are you in Missouri as well? Kansas City? Both of you are in Kansas City? All right. Maybe I'll meet you guys one day and we go get some Kansas City barbecue. I have not had it yet. So
okay, we got some spots now. We got some spots.
All right. We'll do that one day.
Nice day. And thank you. And looking forward to
spinning
that new selection here.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Bye.